Oh, there it is. Invite. Give me 1 second. Let's see if we can get Mia in here. Let's see if I can add Jeff. I don't know if Jeff will come or not. He might be busy. There he is. I'll invite him anyway. He may not come, but at least I tried. Let's see. Let's do the flip camera thing again and then flip it back. Okay, so we have one person in tonight. Let me just make sure I turn the sound back on. There we go, so we can hear each other talk. And so I just got home from watching RuPaul's Drag Race. I was like 2 episodes behind. So I was at my sister's house, drinking a little bit of wine, having dinner, and all that bullshit. And came home to the Will Smith slap, 1-2 slap on Chris Rock about making the G.I. Jane joke about his wife, having a shaved head. And everybody knows the backstory because, I mean, even if I don't even follow these celebrities and I just either see it in a TikTok tweet or just a passing blip on YouTube, and I know all I need to know. So, backstory is Jada Pinkett Smith was having alopecia issues, which is, if you don't know what that is, it's like losing hair, patches of hair at a time, um, due to, XYZ health issues or whatever. It is a common thing amongst a lot of different people in the world. Like, a lot of people have that. So she decided to just shave her head completely bald because she got tired of fooling with, the stress of it all. And she looks good. Everybody knows she looks good, bald headed, short headed, with hair, without, whatever. She's naturally, what that American beauty standard look thing is. So she can go around naked if she wants to. Nobody's going to complain. Trust me. So anyway, they were at the Oscars, and I guess, like, I saw the three hosts make a joke towards them, and that went over well. And then I guess now this was like another joke that, I guess, in Will Smith, like, it sent him into all kinds of rage. And he was up for his whole. Hey, you guys, stop it! Knock it off. Where my stick at? Now don't. Now y'all gonna have to go to bed. Stop all that running. I'm trying to talk on this. It's my dogs. But you guys saw, like, I guess he's up for Oscar. Will Smith's up for an Oscar, and so this sent him into all kinds of crazy. Like, he went right up on that stage and slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. And I just wanted to say, like, is that charges going to be involved? Because yeah, it was a tasteless joke, but hence back. Let's roll back a couple of months to um when Dave Chappelle was doing the transgender jokes. And people were like, well, he should have the right to say whatever he wants to say. And, it's just transgender. It's not a big deal. But yet, I just seen a few days ago, not even a couple of weeks ago, two transgender girls murdered once again in our black communities. One in Chicago, and I think the other one, they chopped that girl up and threw her in a trash can, found her body. She was an advocate. And then the other girl, they fished her out of a lake or something. And so, as we kind of teeter totter around free speech in America once again in black spaces, here we is, we have a Will Smith who's offended by his black princess is being held up to all these high standards. But when it comes to like a tasteless joke, he goes up and slaps the guy. But the whole seemed like the whole black community just was silent on the Dave Chappelle ongoing rant in supporting him in his ability to say what he wants. So my question to you guys is, what do you think? Is it okay for Dave Chappelle to have free speech and Chris Rock not to have free speech in his jokes, even though the joke was offensive and tasteless? and yeah, he probably deserved to get the slap that he got. I'm not saying anything on that, like, because I just was like, really? That's what really made you want to slap somebody? Um, as opposed to doing jokes about people's gender, because it's the same thing. Like, when you look at it at the end of the day, you can't compare apples to oranges. We're in a time now where everybody is trying to monopolize gender and sexuality and try to separate everything into little compartments and things that's not always it's clear for people. As you can see, the world is a mixed bag of nuts, and so there's no standard go to because we're not a monolith. We're not a group of robots. We're not iRobots or anything like that. We're all individual people with individual lifestyles and individual ideals and individual brains. So each person can think for themselves. So I'm just bringing it up and asking you all out there in the ether of things. Did you see the slap that Will Smith gave Chris Rock about the G.I. Jane joke about his wife? And do you feel like, yes, it was a tasteless joke, or do you think it was okay for him to do the joke? How do you feel about it? And then, after you've made your decision, yay or nay, roll back just a few months to the Dave Chappelle, The Closer. I believe that was the name of it. And he was doing the transgender jokes about body parts, and he can tell what a transgender is, and this, that, and the other. And people seem to me in black spaces were like, oh, yeah, that's not a big deal. Comedians should be able to say whatever they want. I mean, everybody should have free speech to say what they want. Yet we're seeing in our own black spaces that these two spirit trans girls are consistently being murdered year after year after year after year. So by making and poking fun of it, does that make the epidemical problem go away? As opposed to a joke about a G.I. Jane because someone has a bald head, which was probably half the audience of women there had bald heads. Like, I mean, come on. How do you weigh these jokes out? Are they tasteless, tacky jokes that just shouldn't be that should be left out of the free speech realm? Or is Will Smith just overreacting and just being over dramatic over a tasteless joke? Because for me personally, I thought the joke was pretty tasteless because I already knew the backstory why she had a bald head. And if you're just joining, we're talking about the Will Smith slap at the Oscars tonight to Chris Rock over the tasteless joke to his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, who was presenting at the awards. Well, she wasn't presenting, but she was there in the audience with a bald head. And because she had alopecia, she decided to just go bald. If you don't know what alopecia is, honey, just look it up. A lot of people have it. It's like a thing that people are losing their patchy hair where your hair comes out very easily. It could be stress, could be many things that it's causes it. And so I guess Will Smith had had enough of the jokes, and he went up on the stage and slapped the taste buds out of Chris Rock. But for me, I'm like, okay, so are there going to be charges for Will Smith? Is he going to go to jail? Like, what's going to be the drama behind that slap? Because the slap was based off of a tasteless joke. The joke, I agree that it was out of place. But at the same time, when Dave Chappelle did the closer jokes about the transgenders, it was crickets, bitch. Nobody had nothing to say. All those subscriptions to Netflix seemed to be okay with it. All of the reviews on YouTube seem to be, oh, yes, Dave Chappelle should be able to say whatever he wants to say about transgendered people. It's just a joke. Why come we can't make fun of the alphabet? Why can't we just poke at it? And so I just was like, wow, you have an epidemic in black spaces of trans women being murdered. And you guys are sitting over here. He was even bringing in J.K. Rowling, who she is a glorified turf. She hates transgender people to the core and thinks they all should be murdered and killed. And all them turf girls, if you don't know what a turf is, go right on YouTube, type in turf, and listen to the language of the women who are just, they're mental. Like you have to be mental to even say some of the stuff that comes out of their mouths. Give me 1 second. Hey, you guys, Ashton, stop it. Do you see me? I'm on here talking. You guys, calm down. Mercy, you're the ringleader. Now you need to lay down and pick those toys up off the floor, please. So, it's, to me, it's, you can't have it both ways. You're trying to say, okay, it's okay for Dave Chappelle to make fun of transgender people. He should just have full range no matter what's going on in the black community, and he should be supported. He's a millionaire, billionaire, whatever. Chris Rock, on the other hand, is making fun of Jada Pinkett Smith, who is Will Smith's wife. Why is he being put up on a higher throne in a higher level than, because the joke was tacky. And the closer's jokes were extremely tasteless and tacky. But people say that they want these jokes. They want to hear these types of jokes in black spaces. So what do you think? Like I personally think that both Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle would be just fine without poking at people's wives, poking at marginalized people in marginalized spaces. There's plenty of things for you to talk about other than people of color, women who are having issues with their hair, or trans women who are just trying to survive out here in the world. But the masses of Netflix subscriptions seem to think otherwise. So I'm just curious and I'm throwing it out there in the ether what other people think. Please like, share, comment. Let me know what you think. I'm just basing this off of what I've seen tonight and rolling back to when Dave Chappelle did the closer and just left me. I was floored and speechless that he would even say half the shit he said and then roll in J.K. Rowling and make all these excuses for his crazy behavior. Hey, didn't I just tell you guys to stop playing with that doll? Stop it. Now, Ashton, stop. You see me talking. They're bad tonight. Like that, I've been gone for most of the day, and then they were outside for like an hour or two, and then they came in, had dinner, they were crated, and I went to my sister's house for 2 hours to get caught up on the RuPaul's Drag Race show. And so they're wound up. Like, and I hate doing it, but like every now and then I have to go to my sister's house to like get caught up on that show. And so they're just full of energy, and they when they play, oh my god, it's tug of war, it's loud, it's noisy, and there's nothing I can do. So I do apologize, but yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's interesting, and I hope that there's going to be more conversations about these jokes, and I'm just saying black spaces because I noticed that Chris Rock is the one who received the slap from Will Smith. It was such a slap that it rolled me back a few months to Dave Chappelle, and I wish somebody would have slapped the shit out of him. But it seemed that all of Netflix and the whole entire YouTube and Instagram and all the other platforms seemed to be cheering Dave Chappelle on. Oh, that was brilliant. But in my opinion, if you really care about human beings, people of color, if you see a person as a human being, because some of y'all, and I'm not saying you who are following me don't see human beings, but I'm saying those who I have sit there and out of my own ears and eyeballs say, oh, it's okay, it's just a joke. But at whose expense is it if you're not being affected by it, but other people in those marginalized communities are? Like I just told you, I just saw an article about a transgender advocate murdered, found in a trash can, chopped up into pieces. And then not before, like right after that, another girl was an advocate in another state who they fished out of a lake that somebody killed her, and they don't know who these people are who's doing these murders. So could the motivation be a Dave Chappelle or a J.K. Rowling who was out here advocating for these types of, rights to say all kind of sordid things that young minds can be influenced and some old minds might be influenced by. Like that is what is concerning to me. Talking about someone's bald head when you know they have a condition that their hair is falling out, yeah, it's tacky. And there's no way you're going to tell me that Chris Rock didn't know that she had an issue and that's why she had a bald head. Of course he knew. But he thought it okay in his head, well, it's just a joke. I'm going to say it. And Will Smith slapped the taste buds out of him. And I think he deserved it. But I'm still rolling back to this thing with here, they're up in my bed now. This thing with Dave Chappelle, because Dave Chappelle did The Closer, which was about transgendered people and making jokes about their sex and knowing what the difference is from a straight woman and a trans woman and all the hoopla and bringing all the turfs and all of the sordid things he was saying. And it wasn't making a whole lot of sense other than it made me feel like he had been snacked on by a trans woman and he lost his fucking mind. That's the only thing I was thinking. I don't think anybody else thought that. Maybe I'm just the only one. But I definitely was like, okay, what's going on with Dave Chappelle? Like, is he on some drugs or is he crazy? Because he's coming across a little cuckoo crazy. Like, of all the fucking things that you can talk about, that's what you're going to talk about. And you're supposed to be a straight man? Like, you are really confusing. And I was floored. He said he knew a trans woman. She died. And he knew her daughter. Her daughter approved of the jokes that he was landing around his friend. But the dead can't speak. Why would you go to the family member? Maybe her and her daughter weren't that close. I couldn't piece it all together. I was just like, I don't know. Hi, Emmanuel. It says, why did Will Smith, why did Will smack Chris? Okay, so from what I gather, because I didn't watch the Oscars, I just saw the aftermath. I knew that his wife had alopecia, which is like where you're losing your hair, like your hair's coming out in pieces for whatever reason. It could be a medical thing, it could be stress, it could be a lot of different things. There's a medical term called alopecia. You have to look it up. And Chris Rock decided to make a joke about her bald head because she showed up to the Oscars in this beautiful gown, like a emerald color, kind of like the color of this curtain. She looked flawless, like she always does. Like she's always really, really pretty, with or without hair. And he said something about G.I. Jane. I can't wait to see the movie. And I guess it offended Will Smith, and he got up and went up on the stage and just slapped the taste buds out of Chris Rock. And Chris Rock was like, "Wow, I just got hit by, um, Will Smith." And Will was like, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. You heard what I said. Keep my wife's name out of your mouth." And that was it. But within the slap, because I thought personally, for me knowing her backstory, that she was having issues with her hair coming out. It was just a tacky, tasteless joke that he could have left out of you know his repertoire. And then I started to think back a couple of months ago with Dave Chappelle doing, yeah, Jade, his wife. Yeah, she was sitting right there, and Will Smith went up there and slapped the taste buds out of Chris. And so it made me think about a few months ago when everybody was talking about Dave Chappelle doing his Netflix special called The Closer, which was all like the whole most of it was about transgender. Like he knew somebody transgender and he could tell the difference between a real woman and a transgender. And he was saying that, he was a turf. And I don't think he really is a turf because that's like a feminist, like anti trans, gay, LGBT. Like those women, if you see them on YouTube, they talk about murdering and killing and stabbing up trans people and telling them to kill themselves and they should murder themselves. And they just ran on and on. And so he brought up J.K. Rowling because J.K. Rowling considers herself a turf, and those people are very violent. And so these are heterosexual women who feel like their womanhood is being stolen from them. They feel like in competition that they're existence is being taken from them or whatever, their beauty, or I don't know. They seem a little cuckoo to me. And so, for Dave Chappelle to sit up there and do a whole show around that, it just put me in a space of thinking about how many black trans girls get murdered, for XYZ in black spaces because of a lot of the men who seek out those girls. They want to date them, they go out with them, and then when they get caught, the girls end up dead. They end up chopped up in bags, killed, murdered, stabbed, XYZ. And I thought how inappropriate and how tacky it is for him to sit there and do a whole show on his friend who is a white woman, she's not even black, that was trans, and then got the approval from her daughter. Like, we don't know these people. We don't know what kind of relationship that the deceased person had with her daughter. So it was a very, very confusing and very strange. Like, maybe he had a relationship with the woman before she died. I don't know. All I know is that all of Netflix, all of YouTube, all of TikTok, Instagram, across the board, and I'm only speaking about black people because that's pretty much the community that I was seeing, saying, oh, it was just a joke. You guys are just taking it too seriously. And I stand behind Dave Chappelle 100%. He has the right to say whatever he wants, and whenever he wants to say it, he can say it. So I'm sitting here reliving this again to see Will Smith why he got up on that stage and slapped Chris Rock. What are people going to say? Are they going to side with Will Smith and say, oh, that's our black queen. Nobody should be disrespecting her? Because you can't have it both ways. Either comedians have the right to say whatever the fuck they want to say across the board, and everybody in black spaces should have an opinion of agreement that we're all a monolith and we're just okay with whatever people say. Or people should have been getting pissed at Dave Chappelle, in my opinion. I felt like there wasn't enough people to say, Dave, this is wrong. You don't need to be speaking about something that you are not in line with. You are a heterosexual man. You date heterosexual women. Why the fuck are you doing an entire show about transgender women when you're not even part of the LGBT community? You have nothing fuck to do with that. You claim you had a friend that nope, this deceased and dead. Like, what the fuck? It says another item is the judge who was picked by Joe. I'm not familiar with that. Is that like a comedian too? Like, I'm not sure. But I just have, like, I'm just one person, so I'm just coming on tonight, just kind of throwing it out there into the ether. Just what do people think about it? Since you don't know about that judge. No. Is he the one that fought with Wendy Williams? Like, is that judge, that same Judge Mathis, that he doesn't like gay people, he doesn't like trans people, he doesn't like Wendy Williams? Him and Wendy Williams is going toe to toe a while back. I think I kind of heard something about it, but I don't know much about it. Um, that's the only Joe I know of that I can think of that is kind of cuckoo crazy. Like, he has this whole, like, he might be a Republican too. I don't know. The senators asked her to define a woman. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I don't want to go into that because that's not comedians. Well, it was comedy, but that's some political shit that I don't want to get into for this particular conversation because, child, I can't go into all of that because I'll be on here all night. We'll bookshelf that for another time because I really wanted to get people's opinions about the whole comedy thing. Like, why is it okay for this guy? Because I'm pretty sure people are going to say, oh, they can't say this about our black queen. It's wrong. She has alopecia, she has hair problems. Chris Rock was out of line. I'm just waiting for them to say it, and it's not going to surprise me. But I'm just want people to roll back to when they saw Dave Chappelle do a whole comedy sketch on. I have to throw these dolls away because they're fighting over dolls. But they're getting sleepy now. Do a whole comedic sketch about black transgender and white transgender people and just roll over them like it wasn't nothing, knowing, or maybe he didn't know. I don't know if he's aware or not. I hope somebody brings to his attention. There is a whole problem with trans girls being murdered by men they date, men who like them. There's this whole thing going on. And so people seem to be okay with it. They were like, okay, whatever. But I'm just waiting to see what they're going to say about Will Smith defending his wife. If they're going to side with him and say it's okay, or if charges are going to be pressed against Will Smith for slapping somebody, at the Oscars. They didn't take his Oscar away from him. He definitely was on stage in tears receiving that. So I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I just want to see, I want to know what people think. And here, let's see what's going to happen. Because I really get the feeling that people are going to be on the side of Will Smith with this because it's Jada. But if it's somebody like a Dave Chappelle, they're okay with whatever Dave Chappelle says. And that's where it's going to be really shaky because it's like, okay, why are you defending that? They're both tasteless jokes, either way you like it, but you're okay with that joke that Dave Chappelle was saying because it was transgendered people, even if they're experienced because they're the ones being murdered right now. Will Smith was wife sitting there in the audience. She's alive. She knows it's a tasteless joke. All she had to do was just sit there and roll her eyes at him. He could have done the same thing. Did he really need to get on the stage and slap out over some GI Jane joke? It wasn't really that. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, other than the fact that other than it was just tacky, you know. But I didn't think it was, it's his wife. He can do whatever the fuck he wants, I guess. But I'm just saying, for me, I'm like seeing already. I'm like, okay, we're gonna see how this is gonna roll out in the presses tomorrow, and in the news. But I want to throw it out there on Haps. What do you guys think? And let me know. So we had 10 people, 9 or 10 people come through tonight. It's 12:27. I want to thank you, Emmanuel, for coming in and saying, chit chatting with us. Like, it's always nice to have people come in and um, give a comment. And I'm sorry I don't have an answer for defining a woman or whatever like that. I just thought, for me personally, when you're talking about political stuff and you're defining the laws, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? That had absolutely nothing to do with her credentials, which ran circles around any of those people who have the audacity to try to question her on such, low end, low level shit. Because the lady is smarter than them, has more education than them, has done more shit than them. And that was the kind of shit that they were coming to her as questions. I was like, okay, what does it have to do with her credentials? What does defining a woman have to do with her ability to do her job, to think rationally, to make decisions that is going to be life changing for tons of people in critical situations? What is the critical thinking around this? What does it have to do with like the legislation? And even she was saying like, if it's a case that it comes up in, I have to look at the facts. Like, what the fuck else do you want me to say? Like, it was just clear as a bell in your face that they were just picking at her because she's a woman and she's black. So, um, I can't take it any further than that because I can't watch a whole lot of toxic TV because I'm empath and I can't stand that mess. But from the little bit that I watched of it, I think the Blackburn lady was the worst of everybody I seen. Even though some of the other ones were pretty tacky, I thought her stuff was very just low level, like beyond tacky. But that's just me. And so, yeah, that's my thought on that. I didn't want to go too deep into that because that wasn't what we're talking about today. We're talking about the Will Smith smack. Um, it's just the things that are coming out of the media now. I mean, it is like comedy. Like, it is very comical, some of it, because you just think like these are the people who are making decisions for all of us. These are the people we pay taxes to help the American people. But it always seems like certain sects gets more money than others and more help, and then other people just get kind of left behind and caught up in the shuffle of the political game. And so that's why come I can't get too far deep into it because I know I'm at the lower end of the totem pole, and there's nothing coming for me. I have to get up and put two shoes on and work 10 times as hard as everybody else, no matter if I'm sick or whatever. And that's just the way it is. I'm drowning in school debt just like a lot of other people who are trying to pull themselves out of the hole. And by going back to school and taking all those loans out, and then you don't have a job when you graduate, and then you just fall further down the rabbit hole of debt. So I don't put a whole lot of thought into political stuff just for that reason, because I know at the end of the day, Biden said he was going to make with our vote, he was going to wipe out school debt, and that didn't happen. And by that not happening, and then he turned around and said, "Well, we're going to war. I'm going to give billions of dollars to fund a war that has nothing really to do with us politically, other than the fact we're a part of NATO." But I don't see any of those other countries like from NATO just standing around being cute and white men. Why aren't they funneling all their money over into that direction to help those people? Meanwhile, you saw Haiti roll back a few months ago, and Kamala Harris said, "We don't have room here. You guys need to stay in your country. Don't come here, Venezuela and Central America." And I saw her say it, so nobody can say she didn't say. I saw it with my own eyes. So now you have room for Ukraine. Not that they can come, but now you got room. Okay, we see you. And it's for me because I grew up here in this country. Nothing is a surprise. At the end of the day, I'm here. I got to survive regardless of who's coming in and who's coming out. I don't have control. That's our government. And everybody knows our government is what it is. People, the Gen Z, they'll say it on TikTok. And I love them. I love them. They're gonna say what I'm not gonna say. They don't give a damn. But I just choose not to really participate in it because I got my own eyes. I have my own mind. I don't need to have a conversation with millions of people about obviously what this country is about and what they don't want you to know and what they do. And they're going to burn books and roll back LGBTQ rights and all. It says USA needs to help its homeless problem. I'm not going there. You got eyes. You're out there on the road. If you're a trucker, you didn't seen it. I was one of those homeless people. I call it glamping. I prefer glamping as to being homeless because I was living in my car, traveling across country from one state to another state to another state. Um, and I was technically homeless. I ended up staying with a friend of mine in Scottsdale for a while till I got myself together. And a lot of tragical things were happening to me at the time. And I was bouncing around state to state, and I was just sleeping in my car and you know, enjoying the ride. Like, I had my Bath and Body Works, my fuzzy pajamas, I had my animals with me. We were in my Jeep at the time, and we just went across country. Like, we went from Florida all the way to Phoenix, Arizona. And so I know what it's like to bird bath in a Love's gas station or a Flying J and treat it like it's your own hotel. Go and get my coffee, get my snacks, and get in my car. And at the time I had a CD player. Like a lot of people probably know what that is, but I had like little CDs of movies, and I would sit in my car and watch movies till I fall asleep. But I would park my car underneath the closest to the door to the Flying J's or the what you call it, the entry to the Love's gas stations where cameras and shit are, just in case somebody breaks into the car and snatches me out. Like the cameras would see it. So that was my approach to sleeping in my car at those gas stations because I would do it, and I would sleep for hours, like anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. I'd be sleeping in my car. I just that was, and then I get up in the morning, get out the car, let the dogs go use the bathroom, get all of my attache case with all of my all of my girly girl good stuff, my good smelling, get my clothes, and then I go bird bath again. I had like a little container that I would pour the water into and then go in a stall and wash up, clean up, shave legs, whatever. There was never hardly anybody in those bathrooms. And they had showers in there, but I never would pay for the showers because I just did the idea of standing on a dirty shower, like a shower shoes and stuff like that. I didn't even really think about it because I'm kind of airheaded. But I did see showers and stuff, but I never, paid to use their showers or anything like that. It's a bird bath. And I went all across country doing it. And I did it and did it very well. I mean, I came out smelling plumeria and all of the classic scents from Bath and Body Works. Thank you. And I didn't think anything about it. I just did what I had to do. But I've never been without a vehicle, like homeless, like homeless. I was homeless with my vehicle, and it did get repoed once I got to Phoenix, Arizona. Oh, it says, wow, sorry to hear about that because I used to be a trucker. Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't really call it homelessness because I did land in a very close friend's home, and it was a very nice home in Scottsdale for a while. And I was an educated person, so I mean, there's all kinds of people living all kinds of way out of their vans and out of their cars and stuff. I call it glamping, even though you don't have a home per se. And don't feel sorry for me because I enjoyed every minute of it. I was sad because my boyfriend had died at the time. I got ran off a job. Hey, knock it off. Listen, stop with the toys and the dolls. Get your butt over there and stop. They're all in the bed with me. They're falling asleep now. So I have 4 dogs in the bed in my bed. They took my bed. So one of them, he when he gets sleepy, he doesn't want the other dogs to touch him. He growls. Or if I'm too close, he'll growl at me too. So it's just like he's such a hard sleeper. He gets fussy. It's so cute. And yeah, my boyfriend had gotten killed in a car crash, and he was in California at the time, and they flew his body back to Florida and had the funeral, met his family, and all that stuff. And then I was planning to move to California with him, and then I just could not go. Knowing he had died in San Diego and where we were going to move to, I was like, I can't go to San Diego. So I did a whole cross country thing to um, I went across country from Florida all the way across the state of Texas. I stopped in El Paso because I had a friend in El Paso. And then I landed in Phoenix and we ended up in Scottsdale with a very close friend. And then eventually I bounced back to Florida with another friend. After my car got repoed, I took a rental back to Florida with the dogs and a cat and stayed with a girlfriend of mine for a while. Got certified to be a sub teacher, bounced back through Arkansas, where my family was, and then moved back to Phoenix and stayed there and started grad school once I got myself together. And then from there, I moved to Las Vegas. I was in Boulder City for a minute and then Las Vegas. So I've been all over the place. And now, and so that was a, for a period of time, like I would call that homeless. But I was getting apartments and stuff, like I wasn't like, in cities that were just, desolated with homeless people. And I love Phoenix, don't get me wrong. I just, coming from like Disney World and being in a little town in Arkansas, I wasn't equipped for the gangbanging stuff, like a lot of gunshots and people shooting guns in the avenues. Like if you lived in Phoenix, the Scottsdale is the streets, and then going downtown, this goes into the avenues. And I was always ending up living in the avenues because I couldn't really afford Scottsdale. And my friend, at the time that I was staying with, we were gonna move in as roommates, but then I think he chicken shitted out on me, and I ended up just getting an apartment by myself. and it was a very cute apartment. Like, if you know Phoenix, you know how tricky Phoenix is. Like, looking at it aesthetically, you can't tell a ghetto from a city. Like, you can't tell a ghetto from like a nice area. Like, to me, visually, it was beautiful. Everywhere I went, I didn't see a whole lot of dilapidated buildings and graffiti or nothing. But this particular apartment that I lived in was like a few blocks from an elementary school that I subbed at. And at the time, I wasn't subbing there, but I lived very close to the same school. And, 7th Avenue, I lived on 7th Avenue, and I lived um, also not too far from the mall. I forget the Paradise Valley Mall. If you remember Paradise Valley Mall, I used to work there at the time it was Robinson May and Frank Mayer, and I think Macy's bought it out. And Macy's was it's what bought out all these, department stores. And yeah, I was a mall rat. I worked in a mall for a while and sub-taught and went to grad school over there. And so it was a struggle. Like, the cost of rent was very high. I lived right off of 7th Avenue in, I believe it was Camelback. And you know how, like, the the main streets go from Scottsdale, and it goes into the avenues. Avenues go all the way up to the hundreds of avenues. And I couldn't. It says, "So, are you a teacher now?" Oh, no, no, no. I'm not teaching. I'm not teaching. With COVID and everything, I'm thinking about teaching at home, like if I can get it set up. But as far as teaching in the classroom, hell no. Mm-mm. You can't pay me to go in nobody's classroom. Not with the COVID and seeing all these people die. Like, mm-mm. And so, but that's what I was studying. I was studying K through eighth grade education to be a school teacher, and I subbed for a few years in Phoenix, and then I subbed for some years in Las Vegas, Nevada. And those two districts were night and day. From state to state, I felt lost in Vegas, and I was in grad school there. I double mastered, so I had teaching English as a second language, and then K through 8 MAED, which is, the elementary education. And now, because I finished one, and then I got down to the last two classes with the other one in Vegas, and I dropped out because I had a boyfriend. Years later, this is another boyfriend, a guy that I married. He was Egyptian, and then we were together for about 3 years, and I was going back and forth to his country in vacations for like months at a time. And come to find out, he was taking all the money. Well, I was giving it to him. And then he was married to another girl. Like, he was married to this girl. I don't know how long they were married. She was from Canada. She messaged me one day, "Thank you for the money." And that was it. The shit hit the fan. We had broke off one time. He says, "Oh, you been in Egypt?" "Yeah, I've been in Cairo." And then I've been in Hurghada. I went to Hurghada when we broke up because the kind of bitch I am. I went off with another guy that I kind of was like keeping him as a friend, as a backup, just in case, because this guy was already kind of being sorted with me at time, like flip mouth. And I was, something inside of me said, stay friends with that other guy, because if he keeps on, I know I'm gonna break up with him. That's why we got married. And we ended up, sure enough, we broke up because he kept getting flip mouth with me, and I didn't like it. And then I went on vacation, and I went to Hurghada with this other dude. Well, the other dude was a complete asshole too. Like, he was a hot mess. But he was more of like a Nubian type of dude, like a soccer player, and he was like my complexion. And my husband was more like um, fair skinned, but with the really ass nappy ass hair and everything, and a complete asshole. And but I loved his family. We were always together in vacation, me, the mom, the dad, the brothers, and the sister, and of course on my dime. And he was supposed to be some big time lawyer, and we were trying to get him over here. But because of the way the laws were set up, it was going to be very hard to get him over on my ticket at the time. And so all the money that was going to lawyers and paying for his birth certificates and all the bullshit was coming out of my pocket. So he was eating up a huge chunk of my expenses. And in 3 years' time, um, I didn't know it. We got married the third year we were together. So we were together for 3 years total, and we didn't get married till like the third year we were together. And then it was not even that long after this girl emailed me telling me thank you for the money, and I was like shocked. Like, who the fuck is this bitch? And I was like, thank you for the money. Who the hell is that? And then that's when like I knew that was like the end for us. And by that time, like he had emptied my bank account. I was back in Las Vegas. My car got repoed that week. I mean, it was like a nightmare. He was like screaming at me, telling me how stupid I was and all kinds of sort of things. And so we ended up breaking off. But I was so stressed out that I had to drop out of school. I was down to my last two classes. And I didn't keep up with the deferments and stuff. I left Vegas eventually. I got another vehicle. I saved up, got another vehicle. I paid cash, moved out of Vegas, moved to upstate New York, and was with a girlfriend for over there for about a month. And then my dog got sick, and that was like in 2010, and I had to come back to where I am living now with my family in this little bitty ass town. And I didn't want to come back here. But it all worked out because my parents were getting old and they literally were gonna pass away. So I think God brought me back here in full circle just to be with my parents before they died. And so the last one just died a few years ago, and so it's been a whirlwind of the last, I would say, 20 years. But I totally get like the whole homeless thing, and I'm just trying to tie it all together. Like I understand a whole lot of things about seeing a lot of homeless people in Vegas, a lot of homeless people in um, Phoenix. I was in Mexico back in like a long time ago when I was in college, and I saw. We went touring to Guadalajara. I was with a dance company, and we went to Guadalajara, and that was the first time I had seen that type of poverty where people were just literally living in shanty towns and like running sewage and children playing like along the roads and like busy. Like it was like at the time it was like the third largest city in Mexico, and I was very overwhelmed when I went there. Just like in Cairo, it's the same thing. Like there's high poverty. So it's hard to adapt to seeing that type of poverty. But then with my faith being Christian at the time, then I didn't really convert to his religion, but I kind of had to in order to get married. It was very technical, but it says the reason I brought homeless is because it was in LA a few days. Oh, you were in LA a few days ago. Is LA really bad? I didn't. Well, I've been to LA too, to be honest with you. I went to visit a friend of mine while I was living in Vegas, and I did go to LA, and I didn't notice any homelessness in LA, to be honest with you. I didn't see it. But he had me like near Universal Studios, like Studio City. Um, and so, and he lived like near Pasadena. He lived between Pasadena and I guess that would be West Hollywood. And he lived in this area. I can't think of the name of it now, the area that he lived in, but it was near Pasadena, like one of the little towns between Pasadena and West Hollywood. But he took me to Pasadena, and we went as far as the Studio City because at the time, he was filming exercise video. He wanted me to be there to help him kind of like visually see how things looked and everything. So I went up there with my dog and hung out with him, and it was very nice. So I didn't see any homelessness there though. This is the tents were in Skid Row area. Oh, because he didn't see. I didn't go all over. We went as far as like Studio City and West Hollywood, and so all the stuff that I saw was very pretty. It was very social. I was trying to figure out how to move there, but like in Studio City, one little tiny apartment, like a little, not even a one bedroom, was like popping up $1,500. This is manage backstage. Hi Jeff. Let me add him again. Hello. He's live. Let me see if it'll let you in. It should. Okay, let me go back. Hold on. Sometimes I have to out of that. Hold on, give me a second. And then I gotta flip the camera. There we go. And then flip the camera again. I can't hear you, Jeff, so if you could speak up, please. It says no, she didn't lie from Haiti. You are so silly. I'm talking to Emmanuel. He's a ex truck driver, and we were just talking about the different events and stuff surrounding all the jokes and stuff. The whole Will Smith slap and from the oh my god, my brain from the Oscars tonight because Will Smith slapped the taste bugs out of Chris Rock for calling his wife G.I. Jane because she had a bald head. So we were talking about that, and this is the friend, Emmanuel. His name is Jeff. When my boyfriend died, he was living in Scottsdale at the time. We met at Disney where we were all working, and he's kept in touch with me all this time. Like that's like my brother. He's like my brother. So he picked my ass up off the ground when I fell flat face. So he's been in the picture a long time, but he knows that my story. He knows very much my story because he's a part of it. And are you on your way home? Like I keep hearing your phone, but I can't hear you. Can you talk? No, I'm home. Oh, okay. And so he knows all about our friend Joey lives in LA and he's a choreographer and all that. So I was telling him I went to visit Joey and he said there's a lot of homelessness and you're still sketchy. Shut up. And so I didn't see any homeless, but you said it's in Skid Row, which I don't know because LA is huge. And he didn't take me to any sketchy parts of LA, but it would have been interesting to see it. But I really don't like to see stuff like that because it's very depressing. And I've kind of lived a little bit of glamping in my days, so I do get it. He says, and many other places in LA. Well, I can see why when people are getting priced out of their homes and stuff like. I really wanted to go to San Francisco, and I mean, even without even scratching the surface, I had heard that a lot of the tech industry had moved into San Diego and priced people out of their homes. Like these big companies move all of these high paying jobs into the area and the real estate just goes skyrocket, and that's how you end up pricing people out of their homes. Their rent just goes up overnight, and they all of a sudden they can't afford their rent, so they end up on the streets. They don't want to leave the city that they either are accustomed to living there, or for whatever reason their relatives are there, they're not going to leave. So they'd rather sleep on the tents out there on the streets. I mean, it's a big problem. And, big money in our government is an issue. And if you don't even have to scratch the surface on the Democratic side, because you have that Joe Manchin and Christian Cinema have their pockets stuffed full of coffer money from big interest groups. And I'm not even that educated to understand the bullshit, but I know enough that you can just hear the rhetoric over and over and over till you don't have no choice but to know the bullshit. And so that's why, things are going to stay tilted, in our country because The rich is keep getting on richer and the poor is getting poor. Like it's such a divide. There's no middle anymore. And unfortunately, I'm on the lower end of the totem pole, so I got to get out there and hit it any kind of way I can. He says, and gas was like $7 a gallon. Oh my God. It's damn near like that here now. Like the gas is almost right at three. I think I paid 3.74 or something like that. And I have a little bitty car, so it takes about right now I'm spending about $14 for half a tank. So I'm thinking about $28 to $30 would fill my car up as a to fill it up as before it took me maybe $10 would put me at a half a tank. $20 would make my tank full. Now it's like it's just going up and up and up and it's fucking ridiculous. So um, I don't see things getting any better just because we're in the midst of World War III. He says, I'm in Houston, Texas, and the gas is $3.60 a gallon. So that's insane. I don't have a Sam's account, so I couldn't take advantage of that. But I get 10 cents off with I think it's called Casey's. It used to be Mapco, now it's called Casey's. And then I think Kroger's, which is a grocery store that has the gas pumps, they also do 10 cents off. So um yeah, so I do delivery driving part time, and so um, that just kind of makes up for it, a little bit. So, oh, you have a Kroger's in Texas? That's interesting. So y'all just pretty much have the same stuff we have. My relative lives in Houston. I don't hardly ever talk to him, but he doesn't tell me much about Houston. But I also have a girlfriend that lives in San Antonio, and she drives also. And I think she has a mid-sized car, and she tells me she spends about $30 to make her tank like halfway or something like that. But gas really is on the rise, along with food costs and everything else. So it's nothing new to me because I'm used to it. Like I don't have to complain because I've been poor pretty much most of my life, except for when I lived in Vegas. I had pretty good money coming in, and I was in school, so I could borrow as much money as I want. That's why I'm drowning in debt now. So I think the most I think I was making at Tropicana was like a $17 or $18, and then I was subbing for about $13, for half a day or something, $13 an hour, half a day. Plus, the school was giving me, 10 grand or 20 grand, or however extra more I need to pay bills and pay down on my car and all the bullshit. And I was traveling and doing everything on all that money. I was just and my boyfriend was just fiance at the time was just sucking all the money, begging, 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 like, when we get married, baby, I'm gonna buy you a big house. You can just stay home and take care of the baby. You don't have to work, I promise you, if you help me now. When we have our family, I'm gonna be the breadwinner. Teachers don't make that much money. Like he just was going on and on with the bullshit. And I fell for it. Like I was a stupid bitch. Like I fell for the dumb shit. And he robbed me blind and was cheating and everything. And so you live and you learn. It's just my car is an expedition and it costed me 85 for a full tank of gas. Oh my fucking God, that is ridiculous. I saw another girl on the news that she had an SUV and it was costing her like I want to say somewhere between 95 and $100 to put gas in her car, and it wasn't filling her tank up. And I was just thinking, who can afford that amount of gas on the regular, especially if you have kids and you have to take them to school and pick them up. You have, extracurricular activities. You got to go to the gas station. You got church. You got this. You got that. Like you're going to be driving all over the place, and you're spending $100 a pop, every other day on gas because you're constantly having to do stuff, and that's to me is ridiculous. But I don't know. Our government keeps saying that they have, these hidden wells of gas for emergencies and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, now's the time, to, make it happen. But I don't know that, they're going to do that. Like, I know that Biden says they're asking some of the other countries to, to tip in and help out with the gas, but I don't know because we've got a lot of, you know, fingers and toes and a lot of stuff. So a lot of people don't want to help the United States. So especially when you're telling people that you don't have room for their minority, and you're saying you don't have room for them, but then all of a sudden a Ukraine war breaks out, and then you announce that you're going to let 100,000 people through over the next couple of years. But you just told all these other people that, oh no, honey, we ain't got no room for you over in Haiti, Central America. I'm sorry y'all dealing with a crisis over there, but don't come here. So it says HAPS is shut off. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I can hear your phone making buzzing and beeping sounds. I just can't hear you talking. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a shame that we don't see human beings, we see skin color. And I don't say it to anybody else. I just say it for myself. It's a shame that the world is a sickness in the world that is centered around the haves and the have-nots based on ethnicity and skin color, and that's it, nothing more. And it's a damn shame because we're all human beings. Regardless if you see a human being or not, we know we're human beings. Nobody needs to tell me I wake up every day. I still have stomach aches. I still have to shit just like everybody else. I have to eat food to survive. I have to drink water. We all do the same shit. And some people don't see it that way. And it's unfortunate for them, but it is what it is. And that's all I can say about it because people are going to do what they want to do. They really are. And I tried not to indulge too heavily into, you know, a whole lot of stuff, but sometimes it's just, with YouTube and TikTok and all the things that I use for social media, you just can't, it's just in your face, whether you want it to be or not. And I didn't even watch the Oscars tonight, and I saw the whole thing. Like, as soon as I turned on my Instagram, the very first thing I saw was the slap. And I was just like, oh, I'm sorry I didn't watch the Oscars tonight. I didn't realize it was going to be a whole comedy hoedown, slap down. So I'm just like, wow. It says, okay, nice talking with you. I'm going to try to sleep, princess. Oh, he called me princess. He knows I'm a mermaid. Love that. All right, well, it is 1:02 in the morning, so we're going to stay up a little bit here. Let me see if I can find a song that is fitting. I did this song tonight. I made a little short video. It's the Katy Perry song called Not Like the Movies. Yeah, I'm about to sing right now. Oh my God, you must have been following me before. Like, how did you know I was singing? Let me see if I can get it to play. Yeah, Jeff sings. Like, all of us are karaoke people, so we just come online and hang out, listen to music, and share ideas. And I'm trying to eventually get a computer where I can bring people on live and we can all kind of like interact and see each other. But I'm on my phone, so it's a Verizon cheapy phone, so it doesn't do a whole lot. And the laptops that I have, um, they don't really work very well with these programs, perhaps, for some reason. He put it on me, I put it on. Like there was nothing wrong, it didn't fit, it wasn't right. Wasn't just the size. I say no when you know I don't know. I didn't Am I stupid girl for even dreaming that I could? If it's not like the movies, that's where it should be, yeah. When he's the one, I'll come undone, and my world will start spinning. And it's just the beginning. Yeah. I don't know why it's messing up, Jeff. Snow White said when I was young, one day my prince will come, so I'll wait for that day. They say it's hard to meet your match, gotta find my better half, so we make perfect shapes. If stars don't align, if it doesn't stop time, if you can't see the sign, waiting for it. 100% work, every penny spent. He'll be the one finishes your sentences. If it's not like the movies, that's how it should be, yeah. When he's the one, he'll come undone, and my world will stop spinning. And that's just the beginning. Oh, yeah. 'Cause I know you're out there, and you're not. I'm going to start messing it up because I need to practice it some more. Spacey out there. Okay, I'm gonna stop it because I'm gonna goof the whole song up, but you get the idea. But yeah, I still sing, and we're all still singing, and like Jeff's still going to karaoke, and he's doing it publicly. I'm still staying home because I'm the one who got the COVID, and it left half of my body like jacked up. So I start therapy next week on Friday. Like I have to start doing physical therapy to try to strengthen this side of my body up. It says, I followed you a few months ago. Yeah, I stopped for a while and then like we come back, like we've been back and forth. Somewhat times we'll be on and then other times like we won't be on for a while just because either my schedules are different or I'm really fatigued or not feeling well or like it's been a little crazy with the winter months and stuff. But pretty much all the same people from YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and then here in Haps, they're all linked when I'm live. So I have many different areas where I'm broadcasting from. And so this is pretty much a pretty good crowd tonight. Like we have about 14 people here in Haps or, viewing from various places. And it's just something we do for fun. Like I really don't think much about take myself too seriously with anything, but it's fun, and I do miss being publicly singing and stuff like that. But this is for me the safest way to be in the space of karaoke and having a social with people who enjoy singing and music and stuff like that. It would be nice to hear other people sing other than me having to sing all the time, but until we can upgrade all the equipment and stuff and find a platform that'll allow other people to come in and talk and share. This is what we do. Now I do every now and then open up my laptop and try to open the thing up, but it always like slows everything down and it'll freeze. Sometimes it freezes up and it's just not to me it's not worth it. And long as like everybody can see like, you know, see me and can communicate, then it is what it is. So but yeah, I mean it is a lot of fun, and I'm so glad, Emmanuel, that you decided to come and hang out because I'm just always surprised when other people come in, and I'm really grateful because you could be doing anything but hanging out with my crazy ass and listening to my crazy ass thoughts. I really don't think people care too much, but hey, it is what it is. Everybody has their own opinions and way of thinking, and I definitely have mine. And I don't, I really don't think it's that important. You know what I mean? This is a really cool song. Let me see if I can show it to you. Oh, hold on, I hit the wrong thing. Let me move my camera. There we go. Pardon my dust, honey. Yes. So if you can see the artist, it is Ludigi Giselle. I'll do it again. Just in case anybody's wondering who this artist is. And this says cover and Juicy Cola remix. Emma Peters cover and Juicy remix. I heard it on the when I was doing retail the other day, and I really like this song. Give me just a minute. I'm just gonna get something to drink. I would love to know what she says in English because I don't speak French, but I love this song. I just like the sound of it is so cool. We have 14 people live with us right now, and if you are joining us from YouTube, it is Princess Ariel M. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. My numbers are low as hell. Please share my platform if you can. I'm still trying to get my numbers up. And if you are, listening from Facebook, it's Ariel Emmy. So please like, share, and subscribe over there. And, my YouTube is Tumundo de Sarina. I have one that says Your Mer World. And then I have the Ariel Emmy Mermaid. So you can pretty much follow me all the way across. If you are on Fanbase, I am on Fanbase now. Is Ariel Emmy, and then of course, if you're on TikTok, it is Ariel Emmy as well. And I did a live um, today on TikTok. I don't know if it's still on there, but I was talking about the ghost stories that I used to have when I worked at uh, sorry, in Vegas, in Las Vegas, at the what's the casino? Child, I can't think right now. I'm thinking too fast, but the anyway, it's one of the casinos that I worked at. I can't think right now. It'll come to me in a minute. There was this long hallway that had a mural. It was only for the employees from the back side of the parking lot to walk into the casino. That was the only way you could go in as an employee. You couldn't go in through the front doors, side doors, anything like that. It was against the policy and you couldn't do it. So there was only one way in the bitch and one way out. And it was like a long tunnel that someone painted this kind of forest scene on. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this story before, but um, when I shortly after I started working there, and I would like come to work, one day I walked down that hallway by myself, and I noticed that damn painting. And as an empath person, we can sense shit. Like you can just feel it in the air. You can sense things about people, negative, positive energies, and shit like that. I didn't want to acknowledge it, but I could feel something in that fucking painting. Like when I would walk down through that hallway, it almost felt like somebody was beside me, like literally, like the hair on my skin was standing up because it felt like somebody was with me walking down that fucking creepy hallway. And it was very dark, like dim. And you're trying to get down, baby? Hold on. Oh! Don't fall. The dog, one of them, just woke up and she wants to get water or something. Go on. I'm sorry, Mama. You're okay. It's okay. I got it. And so anyway, I would be terrified, like walking down this hallway because I could feel it felt like a ghost or something was in that bitch. Like I didn't see anything, but I could definitely feel like I'm not alone walking down through there. And it wasn't like a short walk. It was like a minute or so to get down through this tunnel. Like it took a pretty good minute. And I was like shaking, like, and I stayed with that company for 4.5 years. And the whole entire time, like, it got so bad to the point where I would call my mom, pray with her over the phone before I would go into that hallway because it was just that creepy and terrifying. And like different times at night, like if I had a graveyard shift, that was even worse. Like I was like, bitch, I do not want to go down that fucking hallway because whatever the fuck is in that painting, I don't want it. I just want it near me. And this painting was like they painted the whole fucking tunnel on one side. And it was like a forest. And whatever the hell was in that painting, I don't know if somebody had died in there or somebody got murdered. I don't know what the fuck was going on. It was just creepy as hell. And so I literally did not want to go into the hotel. It was Tropicana. I'm sorry. It took me forever for it to come to my thoughts, but it was the Tropicana Hotel. If you ever been to Las Vegas, it's like right across from the Castle Hotel. I forget the name of that one. That was King something. And then Luxor was over here, and then Mandalay Bay, and then you had the very high end hotel. I forget the name of that one. But on this side was like MGM was next to Tropicana, like with the street split it, and then it was like right there. And come on, Mama, did you get your water? Oh, this dog. Hold on, give me 1 second. Oh, come on, Mama. What is wrong with you? Get up. I don't know. She's having a nightmare or what? Come on, get up. Get in bed. Maybe she's having a nightmare. I don't know. These dogs are driving me crazy. But anyway, to make a long story short, it got to the point where I just didn't feel comfortable going up and down that hallway. Like I was so scared, and I never, you know, found out what it was, but I know it was something. Like something was trapped in that fucking in that painting. And I was like, it was giving me hives, and I literally would be in tears, like 'cause I just did not want to walk by myself down that hallway. Even if people were walking, coming and going, I still was terrified because I could feel and sense something following me in that fucking hallway. And if you ever want to get like a ghost haunting or something like that, if you believe in ghosts, Tropicana is an excellent hotel to do it at. But what you're gonna need to do is go through the main door, come into the casino, past the front desk, go down through the casino. There's a kind of like a hallway that you can go through. It connects the back tower to the front tower. And down that hallway, people are selling shit. And it's like glass. I think it's glass on both sides. Hang out in that area, bitch. And don't tell me. Just hang out in there. A group of you just hang around in that bitch, honey, and you'll start to pick up on shit. That hotel is really old. It had been remodeled. Parts of it have been remodeled, so it's still very much a creepy ass hotel that has been remodeled, but it is old as fuck. They tore down a section of it and put new shit, but the part where I'm telling you, like that long hallway where they be selling stuff, you can get your little Starbucks, little stands, and you can go do your little shopping. And then if you keep going down that hallway, it's a back tower. Hang out in that little section where they're selling shit, bitch, and you're gonna get your creepy haunt on. Do it at nighttime or evening time, bitch. I'm telling you, that part hotel ain't no joke. And you probably could go to downtown if you ever go downtown, Church Street Station. The fucking hotels are old as fuck. You probably can pick up on some shit over there as well. I noticed some things on Church Street Station on the like just in front of some of those hotel fronts. They're very creepy, bitch. And not to mention all of the prostitutes and all the other entertaining people that's, crazies that's going down through there. They add to the ambiance, but it's definitely very old and very creepy, and but worth it if you're into that. If you're not really inclined to, you know, spirits and ghosts and haunts, you probably, I mean, it might go over your head, but have a few drinks and go take your ass down there. You'll see. And so that was, one of the things I talked about on TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, it's Ariel Emmy. Pretty much I try to go across the board posting all of my shit in hopes to gain more followers and have more interactions with, people who want to follow me and, see what my day to day is like and my entertainment, which I really just do the cosplay shit around the Little Mermaid since my whole time at Disney was cut short by a bitch. So I just kind of held on to bits and pieces of the good shit, the good stuff, which is the cosplay area, which is modern day Ariel. I don't look anything like the cartoon, of course, but I just do my own shtick with it, and I'm gonna keep doing it because I enjoy it. I haven't done it in a while, but I got something cooking up. Um, and that's pretty much it. Like we do the karaoke. This was the first time I think I've talked about, came in just having a conversation about what is comedy, what is funny, what isn't funny in black comedians and black spaces where black people always have an opinion about every fucking thing as if, we're all a monolith. So that's why I brought up the whole Will Smith slap, and the Dave Chappelle, because I noticed a few months back, most people had no problems with Dave Chappelle doing the closer on Netflix. And he was getting paid and funneled out, thousands of dollars to kind of basically slander transgender people when he's a heterosexual straight man, which just kind of went over my head. Like, what the fuck are you even having a whole, damn near whole show about transgender people when you're not in the family of dating trans? You're not making a whole lot of sense, sir. Like he was talking like he was a damn expert, and then all the jokes that lined up was just totally horrific. But people were like, "Oh no, it's all right. He should be able to say whatever he wants. He's a comedian. No jokes are off limits." Blah blah blah. Then fast forward to this thing with Will Smith and Chris Rock, who was insulting Will Smith's wife Jada, and he went up there and cracked him across the face. And then as soon as I cut my computer on and my phone, the first thing was, he was being disrespectful to his wife. Really? So now you got something to say because you sure didn't have shit to say when Dave Chappelle was over there slandering a whole bunch of transgender women, and we know how them girls are getting massacred in our black spaces because most of them that are getting killed are black by black men. So it's okay for Dave Chappelle to just run amok, diarrhea at the mouth on transgender people, but Chris Rock was out of place with Jada. Like I just y'all like you pick and choose what's right and what's wrong, but it's you can't have it both ways. And I know we're not a monolith, but some of y'all be doing the most. And I'm not talking about people who follow me. I'm talking about these ones I see posting. The ones who are quick to jump out there and say, oh, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. But then a month ago, the same ones are saying, oh, no, Dave Chappelle should say whatever he wants. So you either Everybody is a comedian in black spaces should be able to say whatever the fuck they want about anybody. Nobody gets a slap or nothing. Or we should just across the board say, hey, talking about transgender women, especially in marginalized communities of color, is a bit much. We need to cool it with that. We need to cap it. We don't need that in our community anymore as a people. We're trying to unite and liberate each other. And if some of us aren't liberated, then none of us are liberated. Liberation ain't going to happen if you're excluding and picking and choosing who the fuck you want in your community, period. And it's going to be the same thing with this Will Smith thing with Chris. Like, either it's a tasteless, tacky joke that just wasn't necessary, or Chris has the right to say whatever he wants. He's a comedian, and no joke is off limits. GI Jane, whatever. But we're just gonna wait and see. But trust and believe, you guys are gonna come back and you're gonna be like, let me know what you think, and I'll be interested to see what people say about it. I'm sure there's gonna be a whole, pro Will Smith. You wait, watch. I promise you. Nobody's going to be saying, like, he's a comedian. It was just a tasteless joke. He has the right to say it. Nobody's going to be saying, they're going to be saying, she's our queen, she's our princess, that's our king. People are so fickle like that. But just remember what I said. Roll back just a few months ago when Dave Chappelle was over there doing the closer and like hammering down on transgender people as if he had dated every girl in the community. He could tell you all about their breast size and if they had a penis or not and all kinds of shit. Remember that. Because everybody, I promise you, 90% of the people, 99.9% of the people were, he has the right to say whatever he wants to say. I said, oh, okay. We're going to see. And now you've seen this at the Oscars. That's all people are talking about. Oh, Will Smith slapped the shit out of him. He's defending his wife. That's our queen. Oh, okay. But a couple of months ago, you didn't have shit to say about Dave Chappelle. So people are very, very fickle, like I said. And I just came on tonight because I really wanted to just kind of feel out what people thought about it and if they would actually feel like it was okay for Will Smith to slap this comedian and slap the living taste buds off out of this man for saying GI Jane. Like, bitch, we know that she has alopecia. We know that it was a tasteless joke, but is he gonna go to jail? Is he gonna be get in trouble for slapping somebody? He got his Oscar moment. He had the crocodile tears and all the bullshit, but we also seen him slap the hell out of Chris Rock. So are people okay with him slapping Chris Rock for saying GI Jane to his bald headed wife that is very beautiful regardless if somebody cracked a joke on her? You can't crack a joke on somebody who's that gorgeous. Like, the lady could walk around naked, nobody's gonna say anything. Like, honestly, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I found it tasteless, just like I found like the closer was tasteless. But I know my community of people out here on this, space are going to have their opinions, and I'm just curious what the majority of people are going to have to say. Are they going to side with Chris Rock and say he has the right as a black comedian? He's free to say whatever he wants. Are they going to be like, oh no, Dave Chappelle has the right to say whatever he wants? Transgender people, that's not off the table for you guys. No, that's different. So, how is it different? Somebody please educate me on how that's different, because if you're going to say comedians have the right to say whatever they want, then should Will Smith have gotten up on the stage and slapped the taste buds out of him, even though the joke was tasteless and tacky? Or do you guys feel like, maybe he needs to go to jail? Maybe he needs to be reprimanded for trying to stop a tacky joke from going across the airways. I'm done with it. I just want to know what other people think, and that's all. That's it. Mm-mm. And that's that. Let's see. Here's another Katy Perry song, the one that got away. It's more of like
Get your wins where you
a
can.
piano version.
When you Lego
Let's
with
see if I can
Eggo.
do a little bit of it. Come on, lay down, go to sleep, mama. Don't fall off the couch. These dogs get on my nerves with all that. They just want to lay right next to me, no matter what. Come on, Mama, scoot back. Don't fall off the bed. I'm trying to get her together. Oh, I've never done this version. I've never heard it before. Let's see if it has the lyrics. Summer after high school, when we first met, we make out in your Mustang to Radiohead. And on my 18th birthday, we got matching tattoos. Ooh. Used to steal your liquor and climb to the roof and talk about our futures like we had a clue. Never planned that one day I'd be losing you. In another life, I would be your girl. We keep all our promises, be us against the world. In another life, I would make you stay, so I don't have to say you were the one that got away. The one that got away. Ooh, ooh. I wish that you were my Johnny Cash. But one without the other, we made a pact. And on that, we got matching tattoos. The lyrics are off on this. Whoever, it's pretty arrangement, but whoever put the lyrics on, it's off. So I better stop because I'm gonna fuck up looking at the lyrics and trying. Because I don't have these songs memorized. I'm actually reading from the TV prompt. Hold on. In another life. It's an actually pretty arrangement. I just think whoever did the lyrics, it's off. Like it's way, way, way like ahead, and then it's off in some places. So I don't know who did that, but I like the arrangement. I just can't follow the lyrics. So and I ain't trying to. With this COVID brain, is I'm not gonna be able to remember. I don't have it memorized. But let's move on. Let's move on. Let's see here. What else? Um, I don't want to do Cobra Kai yet because I think I'll end up messing it up anyway. Uh, I'm just going down here. Let's see here. Here's another. This is the one I think I always do. Let me sip some water. I'll go back and redo that. This is the other version. Like the one that I just found, I never seen that before. But you know how people post shit all the time, and then like I'll kind of think it's something I've done before, but it isn't. So this is one of those things. The spring shop is 40% off at Hobby Lobby, so you'll save on kitchen essentials, home decor, and Summer after high school when we first met. We make out in your Mustang to Radiohead. And on my 18th birthday, we got matching tattoos. Used to steal your liquor and climb to the roof. Talk about our future like we had a clue. Never planned that one day I'd be losing you. In another life, I would be your girl. We keep all our promises, be us against the world. In another life, I would make you stay, so I don't have to say you were the one that got away, the one that got away, got away, got away. Ooh. I was your June, you were my Johnny Cash. Never one at the other, we made a pact. Sometimes when I missed you, I put those records on. Someone said you had your tattoo removed. Saw you downtown singing the blues. It's time to face the music. I'm no longer your muse. In another life, I would make you stay, so I don't have to say you were the one that got away, the one that got away, got away, got away. Ooh. All this money can't buy me a time machine. No, I can't replace you with a million rings. No, I should have told you what you meant to me. No, now I pay the price. In another life, I would be your girl. We keep all our promises, be us against the world. In another life, I would make you stay, so I don't have to say you were the one that got away, the one that got away, the one, the one, the one, the one, the one that got away, the one that got away, got away, got away. Ooh. Okay, so I kind of drug my feet across that song. I'm a little rusty, and so please forgive me. I'm gonna do one of the Carpenter songs. I haven't done this song in a while. It's one of my signature songs that I like to do because I don't know, some songs like really resonate, with me, and because I think I always believe so much in Mary Claire magazines and getting married and having a relationship and feeling fulfilled as a girl, like being married. Like that's those types of songs really get to me at times, even though that American dream really wasn't applied to somebody like me, because I was just so over the moon with love and stuff like that. I got sucked into that. So a part of me is has accepted that that shit's never going to happen, but there is that other side of me, this cosplay girl who still wants those things. But in reality, I'm like, bitch, I'm good by myself. So this is a Carpenter song called "We've Only Just Begun," and I love this song for so many reasons. Sorry, my throat's a little raspy. We've only just begun to live. White lace and promises. A kiss for luck and we're on our way. Before the rising sun, we fly. So many roads to choose. We start out walking, we learn to run. And yes, we've just begun. Sharing horizons that are new to us. Watching the signs along the way. Talking it over, just the two of us. Working together day by day. Together. And when the evening comes, we smile. So much of life ahead. We'll find a place where there's room to grow. And yes, we just begun. Sharing horizons that are new to us. Watching the signs along the way. Talking it over, just the two of us. Working together day to day. Together. Together. And when the evening comes, we smile. So much of life ahead. We'll find a place where there's room to grow. And yes, we've just begun. Yes, we've just begun. Oh my God. It's such an old song, but it is a classic. And if you don't know the Carpenters, like, bitch, you just need to, like, go back and dig into the files because she's got hit after hit after hit after hit. Like, those songs are so good. And I just think that, like, if you like that, kind of old sound, like love songs and things like that, you will really enjoy the Carpenters album. I'm not trying to push it or anything, but she's got a couple of songs that I absolutely am nuts about. And so I always keep that in my pocket for karaoke. So if you're like, into into karaoke and you want to like start building your collection of songs because, everybody's coming out for different reasons when they come out to sing. Some are coming out just to, you know, have fun. Some come out to like seriously tear a song to pieces and, give it to you. And then there's others who are just drunk and a hot ass mess and it's funny as fuck. So it just depends on, what you're doing and what types of songs you want to sing. Like I've seen um guys come out and just do rap songs, and they can't rap, but they scream the whole damn song. And I just end up laughing because like it's like ear piercing screaming because they're drunk and everything. So I've seen all across the board uh, a lot of songs, and yeah, let's see here. Um, I was trying to see if there's one. I want to do this Whitney Houston song. I don't know if my voice, because I'm a little raspy, if you notice. It's a slight rasp to my voice. I don't know if I'll hold up to a Whitney Houston song, but I saw it. So let me try. I'm just gonna give it a little stabby stab. I want to do the whole song. I'll just do like a little bit of it because I don't want to mess my voice up. But it's a Whitney Houston song that I do. It's in my collection. I do a lot of Whitney Houston stuff too, even though it's not really in my vocal range. I just practice my falsetto voice a lot, and it helps me, like, keep my voice strong. Let me see if I can get through it. A few stolen moments is all that we share. You got your family and they need you there. Though I've tried to resist being last on your list, but no other man's gonna do. So I'm saving all my love for you. It's not very easy living all alone. My friends try to tell me find a man of my own, but each time I try, I just break down and cry, 'cause I'd rather be home feeling blue. So I'm saving all my love for you. You used to tell me we'd run away together. Love gives you the right to be free. You said be patient, just wait a little while longer. But that's just an old fantasy. I've got to get ready, just a few minutes more. Gonna get that old feeling when you walk through that door. 'Cause tonight is the night that I'm feeling alright. We'll be making love the whole night through. So I'm saving all my love. Yes, I'm saving all my loving. Yes, I'm saving all my love for you. No other woman. I can't, child. I told you I'm gonna do the whole thing. I'm just gonna do a little bit because, child, this song is fierce. But I don't think I can get through the rest of it. But you get the gist of it. Fizz. We just kind of like, you do what you gotta do. Um, let's see. There's a lot of old songs on here. Hold on, let me go out. go to this collection over here. Let me see what's over here. I'll do a little bit of the Heather Headley song. I haven't done this in a while. I just want to see if I can get the R&B feeling going in this song, but I don't know, child Fizz. I'm just gonna do a little bit of it too as well. I don't think I'm gonna do the whole thing. It's an R&B song, so we'll see. Mm, yeah. Imagine seeing him on the town holding another hand. She's staring me down, so I figured that he told her who I am. But it don't matter either way what they do or say, 'cause ain't nothing changed. He's standing with her, but his soul is calling out my name. In my mind, I'll always be his lady. In my mind, I'll always be his girl. Saw his mama just the other day, said he'd been through a spell. Well, had a bad breakup, said he's on his way up, it's hard to tell. She said, I think it'd do some good if you come every now and then. You see, he's been through some things, and I think he could really use a friend in my mind. I'll always be in my mind. I'll always be his girl. Only inside his lady, yes. But in my mind, they say if you love something, you got to let it go. Oh, oh. And if it comes back, then it means so much more. But if you never does, at least you know. Oh. Then it was something you had to go through to grow in my mind, yes. I'll always be in my mind. I don't care what they say. What tell if I'm this lady? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. I'll always feel this way about you. Always be your lady. You're in my heart. You're in my soul. Baby, you should know. You're in my prayers. And I'll keep you there. Say yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, child, Fizz. It was a little rugged, but you know, hey, I have good days with it, and then like there's other days where I'm like, oh hell no, this was an oh hell no day. But these are the songs like that I do. Like I try to do a range of shit, so I don't just get stuck doing like the same old thing. So for me, vocally, it's okay because I'm a baritone. So I'm not a bass or whatever, but I do have a baritone voice. So baritones can do pretty high ranges. It depends on how you use your vocal pitches and stuff like that. And so, child, with COVID messed my ass up. So my voice isn't as is like it was before. But I'm still like, I'm not giving up. I'm gonna keep trying. And that is one of my songs that I do. Like I love to do that song, but lately, child, Fizz, it's hard. Like I'm struggling. So I don't know, Fizz. Mm-mm. And let's see. Let's see. Somebody's snoring back there, Fizz. Um, there's a lot of songs I want to do. I want to do some of the Katie Musgrave songs. I keep hearing them on the radio, and they're really good. They're hard to do, but I think I'm going to try to practice them as well. Um, I'm just going through. Let me go further down the rabbit hole here. Let's see. Oop, what was that? Um, let's see here. Some of these songs, I don't think I've ever done these. There's a lot of Adele on here. I don't know where these came. These aren't my songs that I do. Um, there's "I Believe in You and Me" by Whitney Houston. I don't know if I remember that song. um, oh, there's a lot of songs here, child. Fizz. I don't really do any Adele or anything like that. I don't know those songs very well, so I can't do any of those songs. Oh, here's Fuji's "Killing Me Softly." What time is it? It's almost 2 in the morning. I got to get to bed.
Sure feels good when you get it right.
I have to
And
get
as
to
the
bed,
number
child.
one power
Not
toothbrush
really
brand
sleepy, but
recommended by
I
dental
gotta force myself
professionals,
because I got shit
Philips
to do.
Sonicare makes it easy for you to always get brushing right.
I got shit to do tomorrow, so I need to get my ass in the bed. Strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. I'm not really feeling that, so I'm gonna stop that. Just stop. Um, ooh, there's a lot of songs here. You gotta be. Um, there's a Shania, Shania Twain song. Um, this is a country song, Shania Twain. You're still the one. Mm, yeah, looks like we made it. Look how far we come, my baby. We might have took the long way. We knew we'd get to there someday. They said, I bet they'll never make it. But just look at us holding on. We're still together, still going strong. You're still the one I run to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life. You're still the one that I love, the one that I dream of. You're still the one I kiss goodnight. And I'm gonna stop there with that because it's killing my voice. Um, there's a lot of songs. Um, Tina Arena, who is? So I better stop you guys because it's after 2 and there's a lot of songs here and my voice is already saying, bitch, you're pushing it. And hopefully we'll be able to pick up again maybe tomorrow night. Maybe when we get more people to come on. And I just want to thank everybody. There's 8 people here right now from YouTube to Haps, also over in the Facebook area and maybe on Instagram. I'm not sure. But I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for coming on, hanging out. You could be doing anything but here with my crazy ass. But I'm Princess Ariel. I thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out and listening to my, rugged karaoke and conversations around all kinds of shit. So I just hope you guys like, share, subscribe. Please, spread my shit around. And maybe we'll try again for tomorrow night. Just we'll play it by ear, see how it goes. And like I said, leave me your feedback, what you think about the whole, have jokes gone too far, or are we Dave Chappelleing it and everybody's, a fist bump away from saying whatever they want to say on a comedic stage, or are we just too sensitive? Like I just don't know what to think. I just keep seeing two sides to the shit. You can say shit over here in this arena, and then tonight, oh, she's our princess. Like, really, bitch? You just said over here that comedians have the right to say whatever they want to say. So, just to follow up on all of that, if you want to hear more of my ghost stories, I do have more. More from Disney, and I did talk about that one as well. We'll do that another night. And I hope you guys enjoyed, spending time with me. And I'll see you again, maybe, tomorrow night or another night. So good night, everybody. I love you and thank you so much for hanging out. Bye. See, did it end? Is it gone?